What if I told you one of the biggest puddles in the Americas is currently stuck in the middle of a branding war? So absurd it makes New Coke and Crystal Pepsi sound like marketing genius. Home to hurricanes, oil rigs, and more shrimp than a seafood buffet. It might not be called what you think it is. And what if I told you this entire naming feud involves zero new land being discovered? Just a very loud debate about maps, merch, and national pride? Welcome to the Gulf of Mexico, or possibly the Gulf of America. A churning soup of saltwater, science experiments, eco-disasters, and now, a naming tantrum that could outpetty a reality show reunion. Before we dive into this briny dumpster fire, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop your favorite name suggestion in the comments. Gulfy McGulface is still available, folks. Don't let history down. Let's rewind. You weren't whipped up in a lab or slapped together like a Lego set. You were chiseled out over millions of years by tectonic plates throwing tantrums and erosion working overtime. Basically, you're the Earth's version of a slowly collapsing sofa. Saggy, creaky, and stuffed with prehistoric pocket lint nobody asked for, the Gulf of Mexico as we know it today forms about 300 million years ago. Dinosaurs? Not even here yet. Humans? Still trying to figure out how to not walk into lava. But you're already out there, existing, flooding into shape like the original influencer of climate and coastline. Fast forward a few millennia, and you become the place for early civilizations. The Olmecs, the Mayans, the Mississippians, they're chilling on your coasts, building pyramids, trading shells, and presumably not arguing over whether you're called the Gulf of Mexico or the Sea of Liberty. By the time European colonizers show up, because of course they do, you're the shiny new Airbnb they all want to overbook. Spain, France, Britain, everybody wants a slice of your coastline. You're the colonial version of a timeshare, complete with mosquitoes and smallpox. And then, the name stick. Gulf of Mexico. Bam! It's on maps, charts, textbooks, and dive bar coasters. Nobody cared, until some keyboard warriors decided it's rebrand o'clock. Enter the 21st century, where logic goes to vacation and headlines write themselves. Suddenly, there's a push, mostly online, mostly loud, to rebrand you as the Gulf of America. Why? Because you touch Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. And also because apparently naming conventions are now up for grabs like usernames on Xbox Live. Supporters of the switch argue it's about national identity. Detractors say it's Geography 101. Meanwhile, you, the actual Gulf, are just sitting there like, guys, I'm juggling literal hurricanes, can we not? Let's break this down. You're 600,000 square miles wide, touch 3 countries, and play host to thousands of marine species, including adorable dolphins, terrifying deep-sea creatures, and that one confused manatee who always ends up in a swimming pool. You're also the source of 17% of U.S. crude oil production, the home to major shipping routes, and the dumping ground for whatever the Mississippi River brings. Hint, it's not glitter and love letters. You've been through a lot. Spanish treasure fleets, British naval battles, pirate hideouts, the Deepwater Horizon spill, aka one of the worst environmental disasters in modern history. And now? Now you're a meme. The Gulf of America crowd wants a patriotic rebranding, as if slapping a new label on a 300-million-year-old puddle will somehow make it more American. That's like renaming the moon Freedom Cheese and expecting NASA to go along with it. But the Gulf of Mexico defenders aren't exactly chill either. They argue it's historically correct, internationally recognized, and maybe, just maybe, we have bigger issues than who gets naming rights over saltwater. It's a branding bloodbath, a nautical monster truck rally where everyone's fighting over the decals while the engine's on fire. Meanwhile, if you ask the sea turtles, they'll just tell you, please stop building condos on our nesting sites. And the fish? They're too busy dodging microplastics to weigh in. Even the weather doesn't care about your geographical cage match. Tropical Storm Brenda isn't suddenly going to change course because you gave the Gulf a new name. Brenda has her own plans. So what do we do with you? You're not just a body of water, you're a living contradiction, a vacation destination and an industrial heartland. A biodiversity hotspot and a dead zone from runoff. A warm, calm cradle of life and a boiling cauldron of Category 5 disasters. And now? You're caught in a tug-of-war over semantics. But through it all, you persist. You've seen continents move, species rise and fall, empires come and go. You've watched humans arrive, argue, and inevitably spill something. And whether you're the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, or just the big wet thing under Florida, one thing's for sure. You've always been more than your name. You're a geological elder, an ecological wildcard, and quite possibly the only place where shrimping, scuba diving, and offshore drilling coexist in the same weekend. So, next time someone says, we should rename the Gulf, remind them it's not the name that defines the Gulf. It's the fact that it could swallow your boat and your Wi Fi without so much as a burp. And that, my friends, is branding power.